Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue, we gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul.
What up, man? It's your big brother K Reno,
and it's your boy Keith Stowe.
Y'all are tuning in again to another episode of the Underground Dialogue podcast, where the name speaks for itself. And tonight, man, you know what? We have a lot of people who have been successful to come out of our city, and any city for that matter, that are from the city, from the inner city, and it's always an argument and conversation about who comes back and gives back to the hood, who comes back and becomes a feeder rather than somebody who just burns off. This brother that we have sitting with us, man, he's a real estate specialist. He's an educator in the field. He's also hands-on, boots on the ground as it relates to coming back and helping others level up in that game as well. And we are honored to have him with us tonight. He gonna give us the game that you need. Our brother, Mr. J.B. Thibodeaux. What's going on, family?
Man, you make me feel like you're a professional.
Man, hey, no, you the professional, bro.
I was going to tell you the family right here. That thing right, man. So it made me look at myself like I ain't looking at it right.
No, brother, sometimes, they say the eye only sees outward. So you don't always see inward with your own eyes, so, but we recognize what you do, man. Let the people know who might not know who you are and how'd you get started in this field, because like we was talking off camera, a lot of our brothers and sisters always urge to rap or play sports. You may have done all that, but what made you really just dive head first in real estate game?
Man, well, I'm J.B. Thibodeaux, man. I'm over J.B. Thibodeaux Homes and Properties. We're a residential home building organization that's here in the Houston, Texas area. Man, I tell people all the time, I didn't start off by pointing and paying. I'm a third generational carpenter and concrete specialist, man. And so during that time that you was talking about, when I was going to school and everything else, being the tradesman wasn't in style. You know what I mean? And trust me, my dad was like, man, come on out here, come and work with me. And I'd be mad because I was like, hold on, man, them boys down the street and them gullies and everything, they looking good in that candy apple and red and purple and green and everything out of Acres Home and stuff. And we was like, man, I want to go over there to Chocolate Town. I'm out there parking lot pimping.
Yeah, no doubt.
And my old man kept telling me that you're going to be in construction, man. And he kept saying, man, I'm going to go into construction. And then I was like, no, and I ran from it. But then he was just drawing me in there. So I took a family trade, man. And so I didn't realize, I tell people all the time, some things is caught and not taught.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like my old man just said, here, let me give you a hammer and let me teach you something. No, my old man is a tradesman. So he would go out there and get jobs. He would live from job to job, you know what I mean, being the sub. But he needed somebody to help him because he couldn't get a crew around. It probably wasn't enough money in the job for him to even pay a help.
Hire nobody.
To hire somebody. Yeah. So he'll have me working there and everything, or working with him. And I didn't realize until I got on my knuckles how much I knew. You know what I mean? Right. And then you start learning, and then you say, man, well, I know that. Why I'm trying to figure it out in life. You know what I mean? So you run from what you really know, and then God will turn back and just say, hey, man, he'll pull something out of it that he already instilled in you.
Yeah.
And then that'll be what you'll stay, and build from it if you choose to or not.
So the first part of it for you was the actual hands-on construction and all that, man. And so how do you think, how important was it to know that side? Because now we'll get into when you actually got into the real estate side of it. You got the advantage of having both sides of the game now, because when you bring people in, I guess, to do stuff now, you ain't got to just trust them. You can actually say, well, no, that ain't right. No, you need to do it like this or whatever.
Man, I tell them it's an advantage, but it's a disadvantage sometimes, man, because everybody, like I tell people, it's one thing to learn how to hit a lick. You know, it's a different thing to learn how to scale a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so sometimes you could be in tuned into knowing it and want everybody to fit your way of doing things, not opening yourself up to other ways of doing things, and then understand that everybody don't think like you, act like you, talk like you, build like you, and things. And so when you developing a network and a team, it kind of was like a, you know, Achilles heel. And I use this scenario. I came back from my little journey of going out and then realizing that this is where I'm gonna fit in, right? To make a long story short. And my partner, so I ended up and was able to be blessed to get my first property, right? And and it was just a little hustle, man. I went up and I saw a young lady, it was a boarded up house, and I asked my old man, what makes you own a house? You know what I'm saying? My old man say, well, you know, you have a deed. Now he told me it take a quick claim deed to own a house. So I'm going around thinking, he's like, yeah, go down there to ask Mr. Henry to sign a quick claim deed on the property or whatever. Yeah. So I'm listening to this game from my old man thinking this is the right way to do it. You know what I mean? And so I went and approached the people that own the house because the house was boarded up. The woman, I said, man, I see y'all not even staying in the houses. I was like, y'all ain't gonna, what y'all gonna do with this house? I said, man, I give y'all $15,000 for the house. All I got is a couple thousand right now. I get it to you right now. And then if you just sign the paperwork and everything, then she signed, I said, but I'm coming to you and I'm gonna give you the rest. I paid in payments that 15 to get that first house. Right? Yeah. And so then, for making a long story short, all my partners in the hood was coming. So I'm over there and I'm doing all the work. I'm over there, I demoed the house, you know, just getting all the stuff out of the house and doing everything, cleaning it out and everything else. Then I had a partner off the street, man, what you over there doing? So you getting in this real estate game and stuff. Now he fresh off the streets, right? You know what I'm saying? He just got his money looking clean, pulling up on me in the lack and everything else. And I'm out there looking like his car, his man, right, tired and everything. He'll come and tease me, then come over there, drink with me, then me smoking out there in the driveway. I'm like, man, I'm tired. I'm working, man, and stuff. But he said, you know what, Thibodeaux, I'm about to build me some houses. You know what I mean? I said, I know some property over there you can go buy. Man, he had bought a property on the dead end street, right? A couple of streets down from me in Acres Home. I'm still doing this one house. Now, by the time he finished his second house, I just finished the first house. Right. He would call me at Saltgrass and everything else around 3 o'clock. Hey man, come over here, man, have a drink with me and everything else. Like his whole lifestyle was a little bit different. Yeah. No construction background, nothing. He couldn't even tell you how a hammer work or tape measure or anything else. Now at the end of the day, to make a long story short, I made more money after I closed and sold that house. But the difference is that I barely sometimes I would be coming home at 2, 3 in the morning working on that house. It took me all that time. He done built 2. So I went to my old man. I said, man, hold on, I'm a lot older now. Yeah. I can't work as fast like that. It gotta be something we gotta do different because we can't follow this same system and scale this thing. I don't care how much.
Too slow. Yeah.
It's too slow. Yeah. I say this dude done built with no education and everything, don't know nothing about construction and got guys to delegate and everything else, and done built 2 houses, made enough money where he worked half of the day, played off of the rest of the day, did other stuff, wasn't even thinking about it and all this stuff, and built 2. He didn't make the same amount of money, but the lifestyle,
smarter, not harder.
It was more smarter. So that was another lesson that I caught from somebody out the street. Yeah. My partner and stuff. And so I realized, I said, okay, I need to take my family trade and really create a business to scale. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And so that started this journey, man, where, it's been some bumps in the roads and everything like that to really get here. And I learned one thing, and everybody was doing these real estate gurus would come in town and they would have these courses and they tell you about real estate and everything else. And I tell people, good information in the wrong season can be detrimental. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it can be the right information you need, but you have to filter the information to determine if you apply it in this season of your life. So they was telling me, man, you need to get property, you need to get doors, you need to do this here. And so, man, I went out there in the first year. So this story happened. So going into 2015, man, I got 23 houses. Just doing the same thing I'm telling y'all. Going out there, looking at people I knew, getting them to sign this deed, paying a little bit here, go out here to liquor run, do construction work and everything else, take that money and go out there and get somebody. I accumulated 23 houses, man. It took me almost 2.5 years to recover from them houses that I bought. If it wasn't those fiends tearing the house up, me and Court going in there with these renters and stuff like that who knew the game better than I did. They were serial renters that know how to hustle people out of their thing with the landlord. So the same amount of money I was making, I was paying way more every month just to stay afloat. Wow. So it was the big game that I learned. I said, man, hold on. These people telling me to get doors. This is not my season because I didn't understand what being a landlord really was.
Right.
So I took that game thinking that it should be applied to me right now, not understanding God just was giving me a glimpse of where I'd be going.
Right.
And then I need to apply and see what I have and the resource that I got right here at this moment and do what I can to build on it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that was the game. I just took what I knew as a tradesman, and then I said, okay, let's apply this knowledge in this game to really build a brand and the business. While everybody building doors, my doors was gonna be building a business like these other folk doing. And so where I could just sit back and say, hey, let's increase this thing. Right. So that's it, man.
Dude.
Yeah. And one thing about James is he ain't said it, but he's always been guided by God.
Yeah.
He reminds me, I always call him the real nigga Christian.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause
the RNC. The RNC, man.
I didn't know we
It's underground dialogue, man.
He gonna cuss.
Yeah.
He gonna be all 100. Gonna rep his block.
Yeah.
But one thing about him, he's gonna. It's certain people that show Christianity and some people that just living and guided by it. This man, through faith, as long as I know him, he always decisions to me. It seems like he prays over it and then he let God guide him.
Yeah.
Real nigga though.
Yeah.
Man, I tell people, you can't tell me that it ain't the Lord, man.
Come on.
Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? I have a relationship. Because, like I'm telling you, my old man would say one thing. A lot of times people meet my old man, they wouldn't think about why would, if you grew up. So I grew up, my mother got killed and she died when I was 4. So I grew up with a man in the hood, and we was the only reddest half-breed kids in niggas' home. You understand, at that time. Well, most kids, I'm talking about my old man at 24, he could have let us and stay with that other family.
Yeah.
He took us on, and he kept us and said, I'm going to raise him with my grandmother and stuff. And that was different than most people. Yeah, so when other people talking about single-parent homes and they talk about their mom, they don't celebrate where I grew up with a dad.
Man, come on.
Now, it's a little different because I could tell you my sister have a different testimony, a different perspective growing up with 2 men in the house or something like that. But now we in the hood now. Out of all of that, I'm looking at my old man, he built the first biggest house in Acres home with no education and doing everything else that he was doing. So, like I said, but he didn't come to us and say, let me teach you this here. He just came and he just exposed us to a different thing. So now, me seeing that, I still, because in that time, it wasn't attractive to be in the hood. You ain't getting no gas out here on no job site doing no construction.
Right.
It wasn't really no money like that. The money was in these streets or in this rap game or this other thing and stuff. So I was like, man, I hear what you said, but I need to go and see what that was about.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time to understand that, that, hey, this is where the curve is. But then I appreciate my walk in the light, you know what I mean? And my bumps in the road because God had already had his hand on me and he always took me back to this point. And I thank God for giving me a way where I can help my family and giving us something where, not only was being a blessing to me, but my family can eat too. And so that's why I want to do what I can to try to make that way for others. But they got to apply, they got to be able to apply this information, man, to their lives and stuff like that. And I won't lie to them. It ain't easy.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. So everything all the knowledge that you accumulate, you never went to school or real estate school, and everything is straight up trial and error on your own.
It's just a testimony. But I went a woman of God. I did my little 2 years, man. Got out of the state, just came back from both and then I was like, man, I went to Dallas. And that was my journey. And so as I was in Dallas, I started, getting little odd end jobs that I can. Man, and the woman of God in church prophesied on me and said, before December 31st, you're going to be into real estate. I didn't know the term. Now, my daddy did construction, but I never heard the term of real estate. Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand that, man, but that we can be, when you from a big city, like Houston, but we can still be segregated in our mindset and our understanding.
Absolutely.
And so you don't know a lot of times that we have limitations and the exposure might be different. And so I started thinking about it because I don't remember seeing a lot of people in real estate. All I saw people doing construction, rapping, hustling, doing this thing. I didn't see nobody, no doctors, no lawyers. So the person had a burger stand or something like that. Might see a retail shop and stuff. And then in niggas home at that time, we were bused because of the federal guidelines and stuff. We were bused to other schools. And so when I would travel, I went to MacArthur, man, we had to wake up at 4 a.m. to go, and we had 2 buses from Acres Home went to MacArthur, 2 buses went to Nimitz, couple buses went to Albany, couple buses went to...
They just split y'all all up.
They split us all up, so we went all in the same, but that was our generation. My old man generation, they all went to Carver, you know what I mean, or Booker T. But then in our generation, they split us up and everything. And so as I started growing and everything, my journey, after she prophesied on me, man, I had went back home. I always tell these stories. I went back home after she prophesied from church. I took the phone book and I went and started with real estate, and it started going through the mortgage companies. And so I called. So this is my spiel on the phone. Now I'm in Dallas and everything. Hey man, this is James Thibodeaux. I'm looking for an entry-level position in the company and everything. Guess if you just give me an opportunity, I'll do whatever it can just to work on the floor. So I'm going down there in the book roll and stuff, and I got to American Family Mortgage. The man said, he answered the phone, said, "Negro, who told you to call me?"
Man.
I said, "Sir, I don't know what you're talking about."
The phone book told me to call.
I'm just calling. He said, "Man, come down here and come and meet with me and stuff, because I think Darryl told you to call me." I said, "Bro, I'm just looking at entry-level position into real estate and everything."
You don't know Dal or nobody else?
Say, man, the dude's name was Lionel Alexander. He worked at the Co-American Bank building on 75 over there in Spring Valley in Dallas. I went up there to the building, and I'm telling you, my mentality, so you got to understand, I thought when people dressed like this, that had like a button-down shirt and some slacks, that these folks was, like they had the money, they had the lifestyle. That's why I'm saying that I didn't come from it was other people that probably more hooder and street and everything than I can ever imagine that I grew up with. But that's still in my mind, that's how these folks had it. Just the look.
Right.
So I go into the bank building, I'm already amazed. I'm just coming into a building like this, and I'm like, man, this dude here, he balling. You know what I mean? I get in the office, it ain't nobody, no workers. Just a whole big old office there. That man told me, say, "Man, I'll let you use my phone. I'll let you answer my phone. I give you $200 a week." Man, I went up there, I said, "Man, now you gotta listen, I made more money."
$200 a week.
But just the fact of being able to walk into an office building and then go up to that thing and had to dress up in the button down, I thought like
you felt
I felt like
I'm legit now.
I don't know why, man. I started looking out the window and start crying and stuff. But let me fast forward this thing. Man, that started my journey working at him. He taught me how to be a loan officer. He said, "Man, you a felon, you ain't gonna be able to have no license and everything, but I'm gonna teach you how to read a credit report. I'm gonna teach you how to do cold calling. I'm gonna teach you what there is. It's called a mortgage broker." And I said, "What is a mortgage broker?" So he started just teaching me the game. Man, I saw Wells Fargo come and write this man a $5 million check to buy his business and everything. Come to find out, the dude was known for doing straw deals. But what I'm saying is that I could have went to him and I could have got up there, the man I could have said, like mother part, because every time I would tell people, "Hey man, I'm doing, man, that nigga, I'm giving you $200. Not just $200, nigga, you can get that and that, I'm giving you $200. I could have had that attitude. But the game that he was giving me was way much more.
Man.
You understand? And way much, the exposure that he was giving me, the access that he was exposing me to was way much more than the $200
He actually paid you a little something to educate you. You know, to give you that experience, man.
And it was from one man, I'm telling you, man, it was just a testimony after testimony. After I left him, I ended up finding another person who came in and who was a real estate investor who liked my hustle. And she was like, man, you the business, man. He ain't giving you, you know, so she started teaching me more stuff on the back end. So she took me under her wing. That led me into another organization where I'm going to start working for this nonprofit housing organization. I didn't even realize they was the largest housing organization in the world. You understand?
You just stumbling in these.
It was NACA. And I'm old country boy. And I went up to the lady that said, and I'm telling you, man, I was coming back and forth from Houston to this. And so I would leave one situation, go to another situation. Now, now in retrospect, I'm trying to make the long story, shorter instead of going through all the details. But man, nothing but God. That's how he shows you that when you say he's stumbling to him, I didn't have the wherewithal to think, hey, let me go and apply more tools to my tool belt by getting educated in this here. I just kept a clean heart and just saying, hey, man, if I fuck up, like I tell people all the time, I'm in the business that you can do everything right and something can come wrong. You see what I'm saying? So then what you do, so when I started dealing with people, I would take jobs. They just introduced Craigslist during this time. So I'd go in there and take jobs. Hell, didn't even know how to do it. I just saw my old man probably do it, but half-ass knew how to do it. I'd get there, I say, hey, man, give me this amount of money, knowing it probably wouldn't be the same amount. Hey, man, you can do the time. Never did a few times on my own, but I do it. And if I fuck up, hey, bro, I apologize.
My bad.
I was saying a lot of my bad. Let me fix this shit and everything. Let me try to fix it. So I done fucked it. I stumbled on doing a whole 20 yards of concrete that way, taking jobs and just do it like, bro, you got to really drop your nuts and really just go out there. But then what I found is that the best part of that you can do, especially when people know that they trying to get some value add when they know they ain't paying what these other cats are doing. If you just stand there and just hey, man, I'm here. What you want me to do?
Right.
I ain't finna run out. I ain't gonna not take your call. I ain't gonna, you can call me and let's talk about it. I done messed up.
Right.
How many times you done messed up in your life?
No question.
So this where I learned that lesson coming on there, and that's been the schooling that I take, you know what I mean, just from relationships, how to manage relationships throughout this season in my life, and that I believe has what I've compounded to get to this level where I'm at now.
I would assume that approach and have developed some good relationships with those customers too, because of the loyalty. Like, okay, even if he mess up, he gonna get me right though. Like you just said, I don't never run off on, because I hear stories about that all the time. The people that ran off and left people's stuff half done and all this different stuff.
In some cases, man, you already know. Sometimes, man, no matter what you do,
it go bad.
It go bad, especially man in these streets or coming in the hood and growing up with people like this here, man. And I tell people, I'm from Acres Home and I love Acres Home. But man, I in my life, Acres Home ain't loved me back. You see what I'm saying? I remember when I was a youngster, I was considered the implant. You know what I mean? It was on my ass. Cause I ain't look like them, act like them, then walk, talk, and whatever things like that. But I had my people. We grew up together. We stayed at how we jumped on the trampoline.
Man, that's right.
Park. Wicked Cricket would come out there and we doing the whole little point, all these things. But I done had we'll be fussing and tussling and fighting and stuff. But it had been some hating stuff that's going on, and all of us, we all hating on each other, and half of us on food stuff.
Everybody in the same boat.
In the same boat, over there tripping and dipping and stuff like that, but we still mad and everything. So that's even to now, where everybody different on understand, man, you come to a cat who's stacking their money, and that's why I tell people now, we be so caught up on what the system can give us, not understanding that it be everybody on the street, everything we need might be on our street.
Come on, man.
But the problem with us is that we can't come together, or even because we looking at red flags, and soon as a red flag presents itself, we ready to dismiss. Oh, that nigga on that shit. I knew the nigga was on this.
Right.
We can't get over.
Yeah.
We can't come together like men and say, hey, man, look, we done messed up on the situation. How can we work this thing out? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't let's get to the other side. Let's figure this thing out and let's go where we all can win and do this here. So that's what I found, man. A lot of times it's the misunderstanding. The right mindset is not there. So what can I do to get us to that point? And so that's why we're doing this initiative, starting off with the mindset.
Yeah, let's go into that, because I saw where you was like, man, we giving away a duplex, right?
Yeah.
A duplex. Go into how that whole thing originated and break it down so people can understand what exactly you're doing and how they might want to get in on it.
Yeah, man. Me and my wife, man, we've been so blessed. We went into this year trying to do only just 44 projects. That's what our goal was. That was what our vision board put. We were like, man, all we need to do is 44.
You know why you doing 44?
Take it home. Take it home. Oh, I got it.
Well, that was our goal. We said we're going to do it. It just happened to be that now.
Yeah.
So we started out, man, in the midst of us doing the 44, God just started blessing us, man. People start coming to it. And I tell people, before I did the billboards, before we did a little jingle, before we did any of the marketing stuff that we did, even about the social media, people would just drive by the our job sites and be like, hey, man, you building, you doing this here and things like that. And so we was getting word of mouth content.
Right.
You see what I mean? And then the type of style, I won't say style, but system that we created also attracted other people, right? And so I told my wife, I said, we got to do something, man, where, we was trying to do these courses, but I tell people I ain't no guru. I ain't no real estate guru. I'm not selling you no course.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm selling you a service. Use me as a tool to get you from concept to completion or to your keys and things.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is that because that's part of my learning curve, is that in order for you to grow in this game, I could teach you how to build, but you might build one house.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you will then learn that little money that you get from that one house, you're going to have to flip that system and everything. That's when you're going to have to separate yourself and let the builder be the builder, and then try to develop a team around that you can trust so that you can scale it.
Right.
You understand what I mean? That's just like in the rap game or do anything else. When you create a book, you might write it, but you're going to go to an editor and a publisher if you don't self-publish, but you got to have a great team.
Yeah, the components have to be in place.
So, man, we came to it, and so then as we put it in and put the vision out there, man, we should give away a duplex. You know what I mean? And then how does that work? So, man, me and my wife been kind of playing with it and stuff, and we had ended up getting some people that, kind of a little more of an expert on marketing and things like that. They led us to some other people and stuff, and we talked about it. Then we had to go to the attorneys, and then we found out, like, damn, man, most of these people that doing these giveaways, they run into a lot of damn trouble.
Yeah.
Man, we started doing research. Wells Fargo have gave away a few houses, and then other companies will give away stuff. People will foreclose, and then it become on the person who gave the property away, or people will give it and then they can't pay the taxes when they actually get it.
Right.
It's that behind the scenes stuff that come to light.
Gotcha.
When you even try to do, you as a good person would try to do something good, it seemed like it be having all this negative shit that come with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, do we really even need to do this? Cause I don't want to handle nobody come back. They already think, a black man in construction gonna get you.
It's a scam sometimes. Yeah.
So, man, after all of that, God had blessed us to get a partnership with Prosperity Bank and the local NAACP to come together. And then after talking to the attorneys, I formulated the system in a way where we can do it, where we really wanted to not just give away a duplex, but give away. And what I mean by that is that the way I structured this giveaway is that we doing a 6-week masterclass where we're going to teach you the game. We're going to start from a mindset level. They're going to teach you about just regular home ownership. And then we're going to get into the game of development, home building, being a landlord, and everything else. And so they get the education. Then we're going to provide the relationship and the resource by giving them a duplex. But we are requiring them on the first duplex that they get to sell it.
Yeah.
Take the money and do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because when you get a duplex, it's different than getting a house, man. You got a investment opportunity. First of all, it's at a different price point than a house.
Yeah.
Second thing is that you're going to have them taxes by the end of the year. So even if it's free to you, at the end of the year, you're going to have them taxes that you got to come on the, most duplexes, the average duplex out here is $479 to $500. So you're paying taxes on that. Most people may not be able to afford that big chunk of change when you ain't got the maintenance that you're paying in 12 months. Then the insurance and the liabilities that come with having a tenant on the next door, you ain't got to even deal with that. Yeah. So we're going to make sure we give you a resource. So we're taking the client that I pick on October the 18th. We're going to show them how to identify a property to invest, find and purchase the lot, teach them how to design their own duplex. Wow. We're going to design it for them. We're going to teach them the steps of building, construction budget and everything. So they're going to go through that whole process with using us as a tool. We're going to build a duplex for them. Then we're going to give them the duplex. They're going to put it on the market. They're going to sell. So they know how to develop, build, market their duplex, design their duplex, and do everything, and then take that money. Now, if they want to buy their own that duplex, they can do that, but I'm out the game. I
did my job. Yeah.
Or they can go and do it again, or take the money, do whatever they want.
So y'all take care. So y'all buy the lot and everything. All that's included in that.
Everything is all included for it. And all we ask, man, K-Reno, let me tell you, all we ask is for everybody to go online and apply. Right? All they have to do is go to our website, fill out a questionnaire, and apply. Now, the application questionnaire does require them to pay $100 credit pool. Man, we had people talking about, I'm taking $100.
Man, that's crazy.
No, they talking about, I'm going to take the $100, and so many people that's applying is going to take the $100.
That's how you going to buy the duplex. You know how we think, man.
Let me ask you this. I remember when you do your day, you used to do a conference where you try to give all this information in a day. What made you stretch it to 6 weeks?
That was with the partnership with Prosperity Bank. Prosperity Bank and the NAACP, they was great because I was telling our partner, Miss Belinda, the other day, when you combine two different worlds. You got people that's been in this industry on the front lines that I respect. You know what I mean? That's been in the industry that has been trying to take care of the Black blight in home ownership. We're talking about communities, man. You got to look at our African-American communities all over Houston. Acres Home is just an example. But 3rd Ward, 5th Ward, South Acres, all these communities, at one time in the 60s and 70s, man, they had almost close to 70% of the individuals staying there owned their property. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That ownership done dwindled all the way down to less than 22% in our communities and things like that. Now, part of that is our own fault.
Yes, sir.
Part of that is our own fault.
You said, Mama.
What I mean by that is now, in the midst of that, you know what I mean? Most of our frontline individuals like the NAACP and other organizations, when they do these housing workshops and things like that, they're teaching people to do the traditional routes to getting mortgage. But back in that time, a lot of people, like, for my grandma, for example, when my grandma and them migrated from Louisiana, man, my grandma was the first one to come out of here, Louisiana, to go. My dad and them was born in Louisiana, they came. They first went to stop. Her first stop was in Freemanstown in 4th Ward.
Yeah.
Then she got there, she was renting a house, but then she had bought a house in Acres Home. But she bought the house through owner financing, contract to deed. So that means she didn't go to no lending institution. She went an unorthodox way to get a property. Yeah. Most of the people that was in, because Acres Home was presented to our people back then as the promised land. They had a bigger property, bigger acre lots and things like that. They wouldn't, at that time, it wasn't really the city limits. It was our outskirts. And so it was considered to them like they promised land. Go out there and live a better life and everything else than be in Acres Home. So during that time. So most of those blacks that stayed in there and everything else in that area was buying their houses, but they was paying it through owner financing. They didn't have to go get a loan because the guy who was owning the property was doing an owner financing.
He was the bank.
He was the bank with them. Now we got away from that, teaching people how to utilize his mortgages, which is good, and doing it, but we forgot to teach those non-traditional routes, shying away from it because they call that more predatory. And there's been a lot of predatory stuff where some of our people were taken advantage of, where they was doing contracted deeds and really couldn't afford it, and all the money that they was paying and they got taught. But so many people did benefit from these things.
Right.
And so when you merge that more traditional understanding to a non-traditional understanding, and you make it like a good gel and a good synergy, man, it ain't nothing but a benefit. So what we was teaching at the Duplex Flex Conference, how to utilize duplexes to lower your game. Yeah, you know, look at your house. You can look at your house as an asset, but you can also look at your house as a liability. That type of game ain't gonna be taught at a regular homeowner seminar. You know what I mean? But when you combine the both, you're gonna need 6 weeks. That's it. So that's what we doing now.
Are there things that, because I always hear about scams and high interest rates, hustling, and all this. So, are there things that it seems I guess you answered this, that you were trying to teach Black people so they could kind of skip over those kind of hurdles? Well, because this foreclosure thing had got so bad at one point. It may still be to where they was setting people up for failure. So you got this couple, they get in the house and we stand there smiling with our keys, and then in no time, they done took it from you, you know.
Yeah. Man, we used to teach at NACA, man. And now this is a non-profit mortgage broker company, man, right? And he used to tell, once you teach people what their payment is going to be, if it stay that same payment or whatever else, they know how to navigate and keep that payment or whatever else if you just keep it the same, right? And if it's affordable, that's even a win. But let me share this to you. The same scenario that I told you about my partner, Franklin, right? Reno had went over there and he bought those properties and everything, and we identified, you know who owned those properties? Mr. Martin over here. He was the one who have all these big yellow signs over there. The biggest landowners in Houston, Texas is Mr. Martin and Mr. Furman. They call them slum landlords. They was chasing, they called nigger pennies.
Right.
They would shine in their turn. So I got a private money lender that talks about them, how they came up. Like, why you dealing with it was almost like when you watch Harlem, that time that movie, is it Hoodlum or Harlem with Morris Fishburne or whatever.
Yeah, it's Hoodlum.
Yeah. Hoodlum, whatever. And then he was talking about why they over there chasing them nigger pennies and stuff. So these guys will go out there and do these owner financing deals. Now, a lot of time, if they set up and structure something, they give you an opportunity to get a house, they don't look at your credit or nothing like that. People will call that, man, that's predatory.
Right.
That's it. But Franklin, the way he looked at it, he had a plan. The dude charged them a high-ass interest rate to get those properties, but that dude done flipped that money with that dude, and he learned how to build. And ain't nobody else, because of his background, because of his credit and everything else, ain't nobody else giving him a non-traditional mortgage. So he utilized that to start. Now he got Franklin Custom Builders, and he got another construction company. He got a mortgage, a real estate firm just like mine, and he out there doing big things and stuff like that. He feeding his family, building duplexes all over Houston and stuff like that too. But he started off that way. So those are the things that I'm trying to tell our people. Don't shy them away from it. Yes, it's going to be some scamming, just like any damn thing that you do. It's going to be some scamming going on when you ain't educating yourself and when you ain't learning. But have a plan, stick to the plan. But, man, there's some scamming ass customers out there, too.
Oh, man. Wow. Let's get into that.
Ass customers.
Yeah. How does that work with the customer being the one that's trying to
squat everybody? Man, listen, bro, it is a lot of that. If you go in our communities right now, man, one of the things I tell people and that I saw when I worked for NACA is that there are programs it's not for us, because we so caught up in trying to be like them or want to talk like we should be able to stand like this and everything else, not understanding that everybody need help or everybody can. Just because you going a non-traditional route don't mean you have to go a wrong route or you ain't standing 10 toes down or whatever else. That means you got to start from where you at and then apply yourself to get to another level and then grow from there, you know? Man, I would go around, man, they got this thing called ITIN loans.
Okay.
What that means is that most of the Hispanics use these loans. So at this mortgage company, where I would have to sit down with our people and look at their credit, look at their trade lines on their credit report, and then tell them, man, you can't afford this, you can't qualify. We had these other people that don't even have a goddamn Social Security number, can come in here and sit down and use a ITIN. That's where they just show that they pay taxes, and then give me a goddamn phone bill, then what's name, and they get $300,000-$400,000 to get a mortgage. That ain't fair, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Trump fighting against now, where he calling out a lot of this stuff, where they have a lot of different programs to help others to get off their feet. And so now you wondering why they're able to come in our community and then I'm all for that. You know what I mean? And then others use things where they use squatter laws, where they'll come in, they'll just move in the house.
That's crazy to me, man.
But bro, it's a law that protects that.
That's crazy.
I know.
I wonder how they.
That's insane to me, man. I just saw a TV show. I'm like, man, how they do just move in the house, man? They get it. How did that, man? That's
but
crazy.
the city do it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling people, look, man, let me tell you what's going on. Well, I just told y'all a scenario. Acres Home used to be at 70% home ownership or single family occupied. Now, this what happened. We went through the crack epidemic of the 80s and going into the 90s and stuff like that, right? So now Miss Johnson had a house. She had kids. She done pushed her daughters to go out there to the lands, Pearland, Sugar Land, and everything, Cypress and everything else. The son, he done went in and out the penitentiary and everything else because he been out there in the streets a little bit and stuff. Then the other one, he probably done moved out or whatever, but he probably went to Greenspoint. At that time, Greenspoint was the light. You know, 9 times shit, nigga. You got to go a little further. Yeah, but this is a scenario. So now, you had the other son that's still out there running the street because he's strung out and everything else. And so now Miss Johnson done passed and she done got elderly. People stopped coming to her house. Now the house is just sitting there. So now it's a burden because now the one that's on the street, he ain't coming. He just smoking in and out the house. But now the house don't have lights, grass that's growing and everything else. So now, guess what happens, man? So the city would come and they'll put these yellow signs and stuff out there and everything else. And they go into the community and they teach the community, hey, man, this is an eyesore. This is what's going on and everything else. But really, we got to look at it in our community. That's our wealth. Right? That's our wealth. So what the city would do is this person might not pay tax. Ms. John's probably been dead by 2-3 years. And based on them taxes, it might be only a couple of $1,000s. But by the time the city done go down there to and they assign an attorney, so they'll go in there and they pick and choose what properties they wish to really go aggressively at in that area. And then they'll go into that community and say, assign these properties, assign an attorney at the county to say, hey, man, we need you to identify the owner of this property. That attorney would go and put the other sticker on the property that's already vacant. And then next thing you know it, now they putting these old $30,000 liens and $20-some thousand liens about to snatch the property. So then they take the property, Doc. And when they go to they try to say that they're going to go to auction, but they have an outside organization called the Houston Land Bank. It's not a Houston entity. It's a separate entity and everything else. So when properties are not sold and everything else, they donate those properties to the land bank. Who represents the people at the land bank, or who chooses the board of the land bank?
The bank?
Hell no. This is the other side of the game that we're talking about here, man. This is Sylvester get to select. When he was around, he get to select some of these board members. They'll add other board members over there. It's a lot of things that go on beneath our eyes that we don't see, or the development partners that sit on there. So it ain't a coincidence that on the north side they pressed the teardown program, or they had billboards over there talking about illegal dumping and everything else in all these hoods, because the promised land is still on the north. The south done been through 3 or 4 flips of generationals that came through, and so they had the streets that's already been built in, and they had the community subdivision, like on 3rd Ward, South Acres and everything. But in Acres Home and stuff, we still had ditches. Well, we still had the first properties that was built up. So we ain't went through that. So now they done did all these tearing down. They done had the largest, man, they had over 400 and something properties stuck in the land bank. That means that there was 400 homeowners that was our people and everything else that then took these folks' property.
Man.
And when I tell about community engagement, so that's one hustle. That's the people that's coming out here taking. Then they do the shakedown, where we do have people that come in and move in. I had these essays this family, man, they moved in one of my properties that I bought. I had bought it from this lady and stuff. These folks just came and moved in. I couldn't come and kick, even with the laws, I couldn't even just run over there and run gate and just come out there and do it. The laws that ran over there, I started trying to get gangster with the shit. Laws ran me from over there. I had the deed and everything. They ran me from over there. I end up having to pay these people $15,000 to move out of the goddamn
Man.
house. Man,
Hold on, man.
that's crazy. I had to pay $15,000 to
What?
get them out.
Okay, because I got to go a little bit further. Is this some kind of that we don't know about, some kind of benefit that the city is getting from allowing squatters? I don't understand how that can be legal, how that can work. And then you tell me you got to pay 15 racks to get them out of there, man.
Yeah, so it's just like this. It is. So you got to look at it like that. We don't have enough nuts because we looking at our own, like I tell people in Acres Home is Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Right? And when I say that is that when I was started building in 2015 in Acres Home, they was talking about I'm crazy. But that's because everybody was growing up in the hood. We've been told it's the hood. And then so now when we get a little money and we get older, then we go buy something up there in Cypress, or we go north, or we go this way. And so it's like Gilligan's Island. We trapped on the island. And we trying to get off, and we coming up with creative ways to try to get off the island. We keep fucking up, and we get easy, and we like that. Everybody else looking at the island like, shit, that's paradise. I'm trying to get there. Yeah. And so now you seeing where white folk and everybody else is coming to our area, building big ass nice houses because that's the land. They ain't no HOA. They have no deed and development restrictions and stuff like that. So it's attractive, but they telling us it's the hood so that they can get there.
Right.
Yeah. That's Gilligan Island.
Yeah.
I'm on my dad pass.
Yeah.
They still got yards, man.
Yeah.
Like you know how nowadays they build houses so close to each other.
Yeah.
Man, we was out in Acres Home, man. My damn yard is humongous, and the houses are far away from each other.
Yeah.
So,
And so back to that question where you're talking about the adverse possession, is like this: is that when a city, the biggest income for a city to drive our city and communities is property taxes.
Okay.
Property taxes, it trumps everything. So the property owners, and so if there's a house that's been vacant or not been really been abandoned, and I know people say, how can you abandon a house? But I just told y'all, any type of situations and you done moved on, because we've been taught as kids, in our generation, we was trying to be pushed out.
Right.
Now in these generations, they staying to about 34.
Right.
Ain't that wrong? What's wrong with that? But not back when we was coming up here, you get to about 15,
you gone.
You gotta go.
Right.
It's time to get up out the house.
Right.
And so now it became a liability for them. So now that became a nuisance. So if you got a daughter that live in the lands, the other kid, he doing something, he got his wife and everything, they staying somewhere else, mama house become a liability.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so now, if that house is not generating taxes, nobody paying property taxes and stuff, the city would allow somebody, so somebody has to come in and act like they live in there. So in order to do an adverse possession claim, you can't just go in somebody's house and just squat there. You have to establish basically ownership. Like, you in that motherfucker, don't leave.
Yeah.
That's why they, when they had the stories on the news and things like that, these people go in there, cut the lights on, put stuff in their name and everything else, because they starting to establish, hey, this is going, because they know the house has been abandoned for so long.
And they even invest in fixing it up and stuff
They
too.
start investing and doing all those things, so they taking that risk. And then be on the ride on the radar, they might pay a little bit on the taxes here to do it. Once they get over that threshold where they can file and say, hey, man, I can establish that I've been here 10 years or it's been vacant for about 10 years or whatever, man, they can go out there and really flip it.
Okay.
Yeah, in their name legally.
That, you know what? That make a lot of sense now. I still don't like it. But I understand it. That's why I asked, does the city or the state or whoever benefit from it? But I see now that how they can, because somebody chuckling some on the taxes. Okay, well, we getting money that we wasn't getting when the house was just sitting up.
And how long do the house got to, is that something like this on the owner's fault for not coming around and checking on the property more?
So that's what I was getting into about ownership engagement, is that we can create laws or we can create systems where, like what I was telling the attorneys, where I gave y'all the example that the judge will assign an attorney to go, and his job is supposed to be representing the estate of the property or identifying the owner. But what he would do is just go and put a stick at an already vacant house. That's the only way that they identify. They ain't required to go down the street or talk to the neighbors and things like that and truly find out what was the story about what happened to these people or where it go. Most of the time, the neighbors, there's somebody on that street know who used to stay at that house, where they was, and where they can go into then, you know, you will get it identified. And most of the time, it's the 4 Ds that I tell people, either death, disease, disaster, or divorce. That's it. It's one of those situations that didn't happen where the property then became it. And a lot of times people think that they lost the house and still own the damn house and they don't know, but they thinking like, ah, man, well, I can't afford it. I ain't paid it. They done took it from me already. And they didn't know. And so that's what happened, man. So we, as a people and our community leaders, I encouraged them, but that was one of the things that we had a hard time doing with the super neighborhood, man, is really trying to get everybody on the same page. Man, they was telling me I'm stealing people's houses. I'm taking old people's houses and everything. And I'm like, man, I'm filmmakers. I'm helping our people to establish their ownership in the area. But man, it's sometimes hard to get our people to be on the same page, but it's not impossible, man.
It's a lack of knowledge and education about the situation. Because, you know, we've been so ignorant in a lot of areas to where even when somebody come along that's trying to clean the situation up, you looked at as the enemy in a lot of cases based on our lack of understanding. What you think about gentrification? I'm in third ward now, but I was living in third ward when that first whole thing started to kick off, where a lot of that we was talking about was going on, that people were sticking the signs in the yard, third ward is our home, it's not for sale. I'm thinking about something you said a minute ago. A lot of that to me was our own fault because of the fact that if we've been living somewhere for generations and we still haven't been able to own it like we should, then we put ourselves in that position.
Man, when I was coming up, like I told you, my daddy had built a 2-story house, one of the largest houses. But everybody on my street had houses in there, and I'd be playing with these kids, eating cheese over spaghetti and things like that, and didn't know out of a 1,200 square foot house, it'd have been 7, 8 people in this house. And we talking about a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house and stuff. And so I didn't realize until I started getting these houses and flipping them or tearing them down and stuff like, dang, man. And they was living and raising families and stuff. And so what I expressed to people is that my old man used to be one of them when he started getting really involved in the community and things like that. All those elders will fight. Like Acres Home was known for larger plotted lots, right? And so more of a country type of environment. So you got to understand, as our economy is changing, as money increase and inflation comes, the same amount of money ain't the same amount of money a couple of years from now and things like that, but property values and things like that go up. You have to take a balanced approach to development in communities to keep the density vibrant. And so my old man and them, they fought against having apartments, a lot of apartments in Acres Home. So if you go on Antoine and DeSoto, that's what the little apartments they are. It'd be, you had to go over there for Shepherd or somewhere else like that, but not in part of it was nothing but houses.
Right.
But now as you start getting older, when we come, so now when you in your early 20s, you're gonna be probably looking for a rental unit and stuff like that. Ain't no apartment. You gonna have to go to apartments. So then those are the people who have more of a younger family and stuff and need the kids and stuff like that. So now you taking those people out and you putting them in Greenspoint and everywhere else too. So now all we got is elders. How the elders are not going to school, so that means the schools are losing money. That means everything else. So now the stores are closing because the density is going because now we ain't got enough kids in the area. So you have to have a balanced approach when you talk about development. So people, when they talk about gentrification, it's always this scare tactic to our people to keep our people down instead of saying, hey, we need a balanced approach. We need some high dollar ass houses to keep the values up and things like that. But we also need some moderate and affordable homes out there and some other rental units. And that's why this duplex play is very prevalent in our areas, because most of our areas that we doing duplex in ain't even had no multifamily house. They ain't had no rental units and stuff. And then now you go over there in Acres Home and you think that you're going to get a 10,000 square foot property lot with just a shotgun house and think it's gonna be the same price it was back in the day. Hell no. That land cost now, man. That land cost.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
That land cost, so you can't do it. So without having that balanced approach, we got a lot of big acre lots out there, man, and huge lots and stuff where they fought against this type of development and splitting it up, but now you can't afford. They made it unaffordable for our own people to even purchase our own land back. So that's it, man.
Yeah,
Let me ask you this. I've been noticing you online a lot. Yeah. What did they do to convince you to turn into Mattress Mac?
That's what I told you. I said I want to be the next baby Mattress Mac now. I'm going at it. Man, we were doing the billboards and everything, but it's just like my wife, she teased me all the time. When she met me, she told me one of the things, she was like, man, look here, man, I'm going to get you out of that starchy archer. I would not, man, and this is 2018. I'm still taking me 2 hours of sleep.
Okay, you came all the way up to the modern time, boy.
He said, man, you should have seen Jay before.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Hey, them pants were standing up without him being even minimum.
Man, look here. I tell her, go down there to the corner store, man, give me a black shirt, a white shirt, and everything else, and some white beaters and everything. That's what I tell her.
Yeah.
And so she would tell me, she came to me, and I realized, man, that as you grow and do different things, that sometimes even myself, you have to use wisdom in different environments and things like that. Like I can't, like today, man, we went into the CEO thing. Now I'm with the owner of the Texans and the Astros and everything. We sitting there getting this award from the HBJ and stuff, which was a good thing.
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm sitting there, and most of these cats had the same story, talking about how they started off in struggle, and then where they got to and things like that, and it was unorthodox and everything else, and how they had to keep telling you to climb and grow and do all these things. Everybody had their struggle story and things like that, but you realize that every man's hardship is that man's hardship, right? And what I think is struggle may not be your, you know what I mean, your business struggle, but that's your own story and stuff like that, because everybody have it. So, man, I started having to open my mind up and start realizing, like, hey, man, in order to get into certain places, I'm gonna have to get into some place where I may not feel uncomfortable. So I'm gonna have to do some new things and stuff like that. So I had to change the lingo and the environment and my style and everything and be a little bit more acceptable. And we found, man, that that's what moved the needle.
That would get you in the door.
The social media and this the podcasting and everything, man, that's where it's at now.
He got a song called "The Struggle Made You Great."
Yeah, man, I received it. That's it. Yeah.
I think Tiffany helped make you great too. Cause
Man, listen here.
Boy, he was like 350.
362 pounds, man. 300. I was dying. I told this dude, he took a picture of me. I said, Nick, bro, nigga, I was dying.
Man.
You know what I mean? There ain't nobody, because like he said, K-Rennie said it best, your eyes, you staring out, but you don't see yourself.
Right.
We went out there on a vacation, man, and we thinking we fly. I went to DXL, got me little outfit and everything. You know what I'm saying? DXL, we out there, man. I'm thinking, man, we look at them pictures and think, man, we look like rolling.
Like, who is that?
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, man, we couldn't even recognize ourselves, but we thinking we fly as hell and stuff. But then I'm looking at my face and in my eyes, and I'm like, man, I'm dying. I was really dying. And then ain't nobody do no intervention or say anything. But my wife, we decided, but I came to her, I said, man, look, I'm gonna have to do something drastic because I can be able to maintain, but I can't, you know what I mean? At this point in my life, I ain't got the wherewithal to get back down. So let me just support me in this journey and stuff like that. Let me get it and I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna go. And so I did that shit, man. And so, yes, she has been the driver, man, to help me.
Man,
Stage, bro.
Man, health is wealth, man.
That's it. Yeah.
I had to go down there and tell the motherfucker chop me up. Now, find the doctor, man, and I couldn't even believe it because I thought, like, when you do the weight loss, sir, I thought, like, when you go down there, they do the surgery that day, they taking it out for you and something like, I didn't know that they just, they tightened up my stomach maybe where I couldn't eat it, but I had to leave, like, literally. It was supposed to be an outpatient surgery if they didn't get me out of anesthesia shit and everything else. That's what made me nauseous and stuff. So I came back the next day and I was like, damn, did I have a surgery? I like, this shit. What's going on? But that eating was different. I couldn't.
That's where I was going.
I literally was on this little top. I'm good, baby. That was it. I'm taking sips and I'm good and stuff. And it's been, now I can eat a lot more than when I started with and everything else. But man, I'm 135. 137 pounds down, man.
That's good, boy.
So after that, do you now kind of conscious and aware of your diet and exercise and all that now? Because I know there's a lot of that going along with it.
Man, listen, I used to be an athlete coming up, and you see my old pictures when I was coming up and stuff. I was cock diesel and everything else. It wasn't until, man, when you start going through struggle, after the penitentiary, after doing all this stuff, and you be really just depressed, trying to survive in that survival mode. You doing things, you ain't thinking about stuff. You eating rice and rolling, you doing whatever else. You just spreading everything and stuff like that. And so I started picking up habits that I ain't never, and then your mentality thing, as you grow, man, I used to be an athlete. And a lot of times I think with our people and our boys and stuff, because you come from the hood, that be their walk. Like when I was coming up, all I thought about was football.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that kept me where I ain't run with them, is because I was like, man, I'm finna play this ball. I'm finna do this here. I'm like, man, I can't do that and stuff. Then I broke my ankle. I was like, well, damn, God want me to be tournament talent, man. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't even me. I was like,
get out of here.
But that's your mindset. And but then I didn't realize when you have a passion and God done placed something in you and that's been taken away from you, or you just let it go sometime. And I told my team today, I say, there's a creeping little devil that creeps around all the time, man, and we don't recognize.
That's right.
It's called comfortability. And so I say, what separates the man under the bridge, you know what I mean, who's been beaten down and has come to accept that life?
Yeah.
What's the difference of the cat who's living a life of modesty and he has come to accept that lifestyle? Or another cat. And what I mean by that is that when you get to the point, no matter at every level that you look at in your life, I mean, if you break your life down from health, spirituality, to whatever you want to break your life down to, and you stop trying to grow in all those areas in your life, then you done came victim to like that dude under the street to say, hey man, I'm cool with where I'm at this point.
Right.
And I don't want to get there. And it's a journey, because you can get there, because after you done think you done made it a little bit and stuff, people start congratulating you and say, it's easy to say, shit, I done made it. I done got it. Then you fuck up and then you hit on your face and now you're back on the knuckles and stuff like that. And so, no, I don't want that no more. So I keep telling me, I still want to put in the same amount of work that I did in the beginning and every level. But as you growing in this shit ain't for the weak, for the weak, man. You got to really put your effort into this game and really be able to grow from this shit. So that's it, man. And so that's what we doing.
So I wanted to ask you this from the minute Keith Stowe was like, man, we got to get my boy. So that's your commercial that got me in the home milk party, but that's you?
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
No, I've been hearing this commercial long before I knew. And let me confess something right now. I thought them was some white folks, man. I ain't gonna lie. But and I ain't saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying because it was just a catchy little jingle like that.
Man, the dude who did that jingle, man, I wish that his name ain't come to me, man, but he a good dude, man.
Yeah.
And I want to give him a shout out and everything else. But he approached me. Matter of fact, we was on the south side, and that Negro Johnny Binder, man.
He was in that seat about 2 weeks ago.
I was eating. I think back when I was trying to do some clean eating and stuff, and they had a little vegan spot or somewhere over there.
Vegan.
And he, Binder, when he walk in there, he gonna tell everybody.
That's
he gonna come back. Yeah, man, I used to do this here and that thing. I'm on Red. What you doing on Red, Negro over here? Binder come up to me. Yeah, what you know about? I used to own Casa Corner. I own it now. So he go there. He said, man, let me turn you on to this dude right here. He doing it, and the dude say he do marketing. So he like you. He say I can do a bunch of stuff and everything. I say okay, man. He say you ever heard of the She Happy Hair? Yeah. Or whatever. I say, yeah, man, I heard of that cat or something. I heard the thing. He said, but I did the jingle for him. Let me just do something for you. What up, man? That dude came and I gave him a couple ideas or something. He just asked me like, what would you like this? Do you do Duplex stuff? Man, that dude came and he flipped that thing and stuff. And just dealing with the radio. Radio is just different now, man. It don't move the dial like it used to. But I realized that, along with the billboards and other things, it helped, but ain't nothing been better really than social media and the billboard.
Yeah.
Billboard and social media it's on a whole nother move. Now, it got the recognition, it got the different exposure. So when we did it on 97.9 and then we did it on 93.7, people would just hit us up on social media. But it wasn't the audience. Now, when we did it on the Astro, when we did with Stan on
Y'all did on 7. That's what I heard.
790.
All I listen to is Sports Talk Radio.
When Stan did that on 790, it started bringing us different clientele and everything. So we did, that was kind of more of our audience, but it still didn't push the dial like we really wanted. But then when Stan left, I got mad at the radio station.
Yeah.
But Stan was boy, man. Stan, he did. Cindy Blunt, I give them a shout out, man. They over there, they doing their thing over there. So that's why they got a loyalty, man. You know what I mean? So I've been over there.
As soon as I told him about you, that's the first thing
I said. Yeah, I started singing the jingle. Cause I listen to 790 every day, and I used to hear it every day. It was just in my head, and I got a partner that I play ball with named Thibodeaux. You know, so I just think about I say, man, you need to put a beat behind it. You know, I feel you know, I don't build my Thibodeaux. Well, man, remix, man. Yeah, but even though you said, like you say, it might not have moved the needle, but sometimes it's about just the exposure.
That's it.
You know, because it might not have, the radio might not have brought the clientele, but people gonna know it when you say it. You know,
that's what I'm trying to strive for, because it ain't been. Like I tell people, man, if I'd have made way more money being independent and doing shit on my own, you know what I mean?
Right.
And just me and my wife with my own real estate portfolio, building doors. Some of our clients, that's all they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just building on their own. They hire me to build a property, and then they flip that thing, and they might do 10, 8 or something like that year, or even 6 or whatever else. And that's it.
Right.
But I said I want to establish a business. That's it. You know, goddamn, now I got payroll. I got all this here. I got family that's working, doing this here. So all this payroll, this overhead, and all this stuff with the marketing and stuff. His brother here, taxes.
Oh, yeah. You ain't get the homeboy hookup, the homeboy discount, and nothing.
He give me a discount. Then goddamn
$2 off.
Well, it then went up too. He is wrong too around here.
He say, since I've been knowing you a long time, man, I'll take $5 off.
Yeah. He's grown too. He done gave me the website and everything. Like literally, man. But that's why I say that God will put people in your life, man. I didn't have a website until I met Kermit.
Yeah.
I didn't have these different things, and so I'm not afraid to allow people to grow. And I told my team today, God put this thing together because it wasn't by me. I'm not no business degree or something, but God has did this, and He has elevated. And then realizing we done came together and created a system that other builders don't do. We help our clients on the pre-construction. There's 2 phases to construction and development. There's the pre-construction side, and then there's the construction side. A lot of times the pre-construction is your out-of-pocket expenses, plans, permits, and everything else. Most of the time, you got to have that done, and then you go to your builder.
Yeah.
Not a builder having all of that under one roof where we help you through the plans, permits, design, the horizontal development. Then we do the construction and stuff too.
Yeah.
So that's what separates us. And we got a whole booklet that we work with them through. And so, man, that's all because, you know, Kermit, our team coming together, my wife and everybody, and we all learn from our mistakes and then put it on there and then bring it together and we do it, man, and stick to it. So I'm going to use that as I become the next goddamn Matches Mac. I realize, man, it's really that business. You got to get your word out there, but you got to be a solid brand for everybody coming. So what I'm going to hit people with is consistency. They're going to keep hearing some kind of form or fashion about that damn tip.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That's how you brand. You know, I was thinking while you was just talking, it's crazy that we here now. Because when I met you, I was with you.
Really?
My wife's, she had a conference.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I went there. That's who I met.
Wow.
I met his wife first. Man, I'm trying to figure out how I even met Keisha. I think they sent us that thing, Renee, that was with me or something like that, because she was doing the Christian, you know, doing the thing, and then asked us to get a table. When I did the book, I wrote a book on Acres Home, and then that's when we used the table to promote the damn book. I remember that. That's how it was, because she was supposed to be doing the book stuff. Then I met you there. And then you was talking about the website.
Man, that's crazy.
Almost everything JB got. And marketing brand out of there.
Yeah, wow. And look, and all our Underground Dialogue podcast supporters just found out that Thibodeaux's real name is Kermit. So y'all make sure y'all remember that. Make sure y'all remember that.
My bad.
No, I love it. That's good.
You gotta tell
That's perfect. No, I love it, man. I love it.
Tell him my name, Johnny Bond, taking my hat off.
He been getting exposed, but all month long. No, but
That was it.
I wanted to ask you this too, man, because we hear a lot of stories about a lot of racism in that field in terms of how the banks be, doing black people, and we don't get the same treatment in terms of getting loans and all that. Is what's the level of truth to that, and how do we combat that as black people, if at all possible?
Man, I personally say there's properties that we bought on the deeds that say no black people.
Wow.
No blacks in the area, especially in Third Ward and city gas areas. Say we don't want to, right? So there's properties that we purchased, and it did say those type of things, that they had these type of things that our people has overcome.
Yeah.
But I also would say, yes, that is true, man, that there is folks, like when I got started, man, I will go to a lot of people that ask for a loan, because I tell you this, man, when the dude told me that you ain't need no credit, and you ain't need no money to buy a property, I thought the nigga was crazy.
Yeah.
You understand? I didn't know what a hard money loan was. And so the dude, I went to an investment workshop. That's a one-day workshop. And the dude said, yeah, there's some hard money. It's called a company called Jet Lending and stuff like that. And they'll do this. And I say, man, they crazy. You ain't talking about it. Man, I went to Jet Lending. Them folks say, yeah, we'll do it. But they gonna eat you out the ass and rip you another asshole and stuff.
Right.
They had a high ass interest rate.
Yeah.
They gonna nick you a dime with all these goddamn fees and stuff. But I was able to get a loan from them with no credit. You understand what I mean? They was gonna give me a loan against the property and do all that stuff without me having to come with any money out my pocket.
Right.
And so I do believe that other races can go and utilize different things and programs and stuff. It is not as suspicious as when we do it.
Right.
And getting underwritten and all this other type of stuff and different types of things and stuff. So I do recognize that, but I ain't gonna lie too, though. One of my private money lenders, he gave me a shot. And yeah, he charged me but he did more for me and yeah, he charged me.
Yeah.
Then other people that turned me down, they look like me.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
The stuff I was looking out crazy when I was coming there.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And I thought that they would be there and they judging as much as other. I call them bow tie niggas. You know what I mean?
Right.
They are some of the most judges, individuals and stuff, people who are that's harder on our own people than these others. And so I tell people, regardless if it's a race, regardless if it's whatever, there's gonna be challenges.
Yeah.
And in this industry, the monkey gonna get on your back soon as you make the mind decision that I want to go out here and do this.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that I'm in the industry that you're gonna do everything right and still some shit gonna come wrong.
Yeah.
So what you gonna do? Either gonna sit on the sideline or you gonna be able to, get to the other side. And so that's what we really did this initiative. Go back, I hope I answered that.
Yeah.
It was to get those folks off of the sideline and get them into the game. As I was coming up, man, in the hood, there was a lot of incentives and a lot of programs for people who was less than fortunate.
Yeah.
But then if you made up a mind that you really want to hustle or get something a little bit, that middle class at that time, there was no bike giveaways and everything, because they was talking about, man, you got a little money, or people size you up and thinking you got it, not realizing that those are the folk who need help. As soon as you make a mind to try to do a little business and everything else will grow, there ain't no health care benefits. There ain't no these other type of things, the insurances and everything else. And so you need that assistance and help. And so that's what this initiative gonna do, is those people that's working class people that need a little help to get to financial freedom. And when I say working class people, people think about construction workers or think about janitors and stuff. Working class people can be doctors, lawyers, professionals, rappers, and everything who live in paycheck to paycheck, lick to lick, job to job, or whatever that they doing, and they need a little extra push to get them to financial freedom where they can get out the rat race.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. A movie actor can be living
Yeah.
job to job and lick to lick and stuff like that. So everybody, we forget about those folks that's living from those things. And a lot of these rappers, they come my partners in rap, you know what I'm saying? And they'll tell you, if they real talk with you and stuff like that, they'll tell you, man, we need a little push to get between that, this line. They might get a high end lit, you know what I mean? But we need those time to get those lit together, because you can be left with more money, not enough money.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. You ever did any work with Slim? with Slim?
Man,
I know he was doing a
I
little
haven't nothing did
operation.
personal with them, but I respect all of them. Him, Rico, and all the whole team with Boss Life. I did a lot of stuff with Corey and stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got some properties and things like that I was able to acquire from them and everything, too. So when they was coming up and doing their thing, you know, they was... I said I was building, but was they building with J.G. Hollins and stuff, you know, and so they was out there doing it and everything else. And so I have a lot of respect for them boys, man, and everything that they done in the community, man. Especially Unc, man, because him and Mr. Mayberry, that's where I want my name to be established with. You know what I mean? Mr. Mayberry, Mayberry is a black builder that's out here that's really been in the industry, that has done his thing, man, on the South Side, and he has a brand. And then Johnny Hollins, man, hey, he turning, you know, he coming up with a whole nother game, you know what I mean? And so these brothers are setting the bar and things like that I respect, that I say, hey, man, I want to, you know, push that Thibodeaux brand right up there with them, man.
So it's a lot of black people that's in this game. And we just don't know. See, and that's where we need to get to this thing, to a point where the same way that athletes and rappers are household names, people like yourself and the brothers you mentioned can be household names as well, because we can't just be looking up to that side. We got to look up to what you do as well.
And one of the things at his conferences, I found that out. Because he just sell out to play, and it's nothing but all black.
Nothing but Negroes up in there.
I was telling Miss Belinda that today when she was, you know, when she was going over our course and things that she was doing. I said, my sister, we got people in here that's ready to invest. That's why I said we don't know how much wealth in our community.
Come on, man.
And just like you talking, man, I tell, man, don't think of a traditional way, man. Every deal that I did starting off was coming up talking to my brothers and say, hey, man, why don't you invest in me and let's go ahead, or let's invest in this property together and let's put our paperwork and let's do this here. Now, we have to have the same understanding. It taught me to partner with people with the same mindset and understanding, and that has to be identified really in black and white.
Immediately, Yeah, I feel
like
I know where you're going.
When a brother in the street, they feel like if I put 50, I want 50 back.
It ain't guaranteed, bro.
And it gotta be this here, and it gotta be this car. Man, it take this long. Why they say, oh, nigga, you didn't know what you was doing? Oh, brother, in this thing, it can happen. So always that identifying and people understand that there's a non-traditional route to get to the promised land they can take. There's traditional route, but that non-traditional route might be the key that you need to get to the other side. And there are centers where it might cost you a little more, but go that route. You know what I mean? Because I know when I was stuck surviving, could tell me, man, it was better. Either you pay rent at an apartment and got to be paid by 3. Because I done had the experience where you come back home and they done kicked all your stuff out there and put on side the road in the apartment. That's real. I'm telling you, that was the most embarrassing thing as a man to have a woman, and our shit just be put out there in the apartment, and we come home and our stuff out there on the street. And the apartment come.
Yeah, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Everybody in the neighborhood.
Everybody look.
Hope they ain't went shopping over there.
They done took all my tools and everything, man. They had to spend. But when we had rent out of the house, we was dealing with somebody who owned the house, and I told them, hey, if we didn't have it on the 3rd or whatever, they gave us to the 15th and 20th.
Give some grace.
You see what I'm saying? Gave you some grace. So then if you own a house, man, as long as you pay in 30 days, you just pay a late fee. It's not reported on your credit report. So I'm talking about just from a survival standpoint, there are things where I believe our people need to hear so they can get past this type of economy to get to the other side and then grow from that shit.
Right,
you know what I mean? So,
that's it. So give us the information on the Duplex Flex, how people can sign up for it and get involved in that. Anybody that might be interested in trying to hit.
Man, tomorrow and this weekend is the last time that you will have an opportunity for this particular initiative, and it's the Duplex Flex giveaway powered by Prosperity Bank and the NAACP. We are giving away a free duplex that we talked about. If they go to jbthibodeaux.com, they can apply, fill out the questionnaire, pay the $100. We're looking for individuals to be mortgage ready. And what that means is that we have 2 partners that's going to pull their credit or whatever else and then determine where they at so that we can give them a strategy and plan to have long-term success in this game of real estate. Our goal and the core of this initiative is to empower through real estate. And so we want you to be successful. I did not say that they have to get a loan. I said that we're looking and want to pull your credit so that we can truly identify how we can help you to be successful. Not only are we doing that, is that after the 22nd, which is tomorrow or whatever else, to get this application or go online and you apply to the application, we're going to select 44 individuals to participate in a master class, right? And in this master class is a master class cohort series. We're going to talk about what it means to be a flex family homeowner, developer, builder, and landlord. And so we're going to teach you the ins and outs of this real estate game. And out of those 44 individuals, I'm going to select one on October the 18th to give away this duplex, right? But not only I'm giving away the duplex, but every participate in the master class, we're going to give them $25,000 in flex cash to go towards a purchase of a duplex, either one of mine or one of our affiliate builders' duplexes and things like that. And so, man, for $100, you can't help but to win.
You can't help but to win.
Let me ask you this. Say if they get this after the 23rd or whatever, what else can they are you providing that they can sign up?
Oh, where y'all be doing it again?
Yeah. So what we doing, man, we had a good turnout with the people that have signed up thus far. We've got a lot of great quality applicants, man. And so a lot of people with the mindset, and I don't want them to feel like they're going to be left out. So we're looking to do some other things for them where we're going to be honoring some things and stuff like that, and make sure that they get the help and the assistance they need to be successful. Our goal is not to just do this program, but again, like I told you, the basis of the giveaway is to give away. Is to make sure that we giving them and providing them a way that they can be successful in this game. Everybody is in the game of real estate, and if you like it or not, you either rent, living somewhere, you in the game, so you need to be able
what side of it are you on?
You need to be able to maximize the game as much as possible to get to the side, man. We living in the economy that's changing in a rapid pace, and if you ain't getting in this game in some way, form, or fashion, then you're going to be left behind, man.
No question about it, man. No question about it. Well, give them some social media, how they contact you on social media, man. And well, this have been a master class.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I know I talk a lot. I hope I gave all
we glad.
they need.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. But man, you can get me at JB Thibodeaux _ what is my dang on site? Is that
It's gonna be the one where you come up, you're gonna be like, "Hey, JB Thibodeaux."
There you go. Duplex flex, JB Thibodeaux, man. We came up with the flex.
Man.
So everything is about the flex. If I tell people with the flex, man, it's just about having that mindset to flex, and the flex is just really maximizing their opportunity in the game of real estate.
Yeah.
Try to get, do whatever you can to get your house. After you establish your house, utilize that house as an asset and not just a liability, meaning where you just paying off the house.
Yeah.
Use that equity in that house to flip it, because most people, like in our day and time, we forgot about the starter house.
Right.
We only gonna wait until we get our forever home in our community. But we got to learn again about the starter house.
Yeah.
You start off with a house. You might not be there for, the 10 to 20 years like our grandparents or our parents did. In our day and time, you might have 2 or 3 houses before you decide to settle down in the house. So don't forget about the starter house, Doc, and just get out the game or get out the sidelines and get into the game wherever you need to do it. So,
Yeah.
I remember this one time you were saying about the duplexes where you can actually live in one part of the duplex and then be renting out the other half.
That's it.
And that's paying for your.
Most people think of house hacking where you'll just buy a property and rent it out. That's true house hacking. Or buy a duplex and rent both units. But now people are getting qualified where they actually living in the house, and then instead of them buying a house, they just buying a duplex and they stand in one side and then renting out the other side, helping them people pay off this loan and then before they move and get into their house. And so, man, a lot of people have been, and the surprising thing, Doc, and I'll be honest with you, most of our sisters or our young sisters is most of our clientele. Now, that come knocking at my door and come out here grinding.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm trying to get our guys to come back out
That
there.
makes
man.
sense. You know we be on some BS.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. They're gonna talk me down, but I don't mind. I tell people, hey man, I don't mind. You can say everything you want, about me or whatever, but then I want you to vet the information.
Yes.
Vet the information. Vet our system, vet our team and things like that. But after you do it, get in the game, even if you don't choose us, choose somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to get in the game and to do it and stuff like that. I'm just saying a lot of young people are not stuck on the sideline in this analysis paralysis, but our middle-aged people, we need to get back in there, man, and go out there and do it. So
I guess we stuck in our ways, man.
It's JB_Thibodeaux, and that's THIBODEAUX.
Yeah.
The website?
That's Louisiana.
Website is www.jbthibodeaux, that's THIBODEAUX.com.
Man. Well, brother, we appreciate you, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Man, look, this is value right here, y'all. Y'all better understand.
Yeah.
Y'all get this education. This brother came from the mud.
Yes, sir.
He ain't have to go through no channels. He learned everything hands-on. Shout out to your dad, man, for putting you in the mix and starting that ball rolling, man.
Yeah, and the whole JB Thibodeaux staff.
Yeah.
It's like basically a big family over there.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of both of y'all.
Man, no question about it.
I'm proud of y'all, man. And y'all keep doing what y'all doing to get this vital information out there. Cause I came running out at the door. I was like, man, they don't want to be talking about no real estate and everything.
Yeah.
He was like, no, brother,
That's
this is
right.
what we need.
That's what we need,
what
man.
people need and everything. And so, man, I appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you, man.
I ain't gonna say Kermit.
Now it's too late now. You can say Kermit. That's him. That's him, man. Yeah, exactly. And I call him all kind of stuff, man. It's all good, man.
Nah, but man, he helped me. Every flyer that you done seen, graphic and things like that came out of JBT, man, he pretty much done did it all in our website. The questionnaire, the application and everything, this brother done did it for us and things like that. Hell, when we first announced it, it crashed on us because we were getting out there. He fixed that thing, brought it right back up. So I appreciate you.
When I tell y'all what, man, y'all holler at our brother so y'all can make sure that at some point in time in the future, y'all can say, I got me on and built like that, but it's your big brother K-Reno, man. It's the Underground Dialogue Podcast, man. Man, bro.
That's good.
Man, it's your big brother K-Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue Podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night, y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue Podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother K-Reno. And check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue Podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business, you can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother K-Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volas. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A's. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volas.biz and find your order, find what you want. Wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volas, manufactured in Italy. Good quality. Catch y'all later on.